So, warning: the following content I may contain elements that are not suitable. Accordingly, viewer discretion is advised. That's a classic. Classic. Hashtag classic. I'm doing the entire show tonight by myself. So hold on to your strap in and let's do this. I'm joking, guys. We got a unique show, but first I think we have to do an intro, right? Doesn't that normally happen? Let me find one. All right, here. Playing the role of Kat Ren Figures and her husband Mark is Kat Ren Figures and Mark.
Yeah.
And so tonight's performance of Carson, aka C Woodard 19, and he's so fine like a glass of wine, is going to be none other than making her YouTube debut, Miss Annie Banks.
Hello. Happy to be here.
And returning to the Comic Core alum, the creator of Demon Bitch, Christy Shannon.
I just have this look like whatever. Oh, here's my black pussy. Here it is.
And don't worry, she just had surgery.
So
yeah, I've had surgery. It feels so good. No, it really doesn't. It doesn't feel as bad as I thought it would be, but it sucks.
I think they have like memes for shit, Mark. I don't know. Yeah, so how's everybody's Friday night going?
Oh, good.
Anybody?
Relaxing.
It's a Friday. I'm waiting for the election results.
I think we have until the 20th.
The 20th? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need those.
So we have our first
I think
question.
we're all gonna need it before the end of the election.
We have our first question from the chat, and that is,
what the is Mark eating? What the
So what are you eating?
You look like
You wanna
fucking
know?
cereal. What?
You
No,
really want to
it's
know?
not cereal.
No.
Oh, it looks like fucking
No.
like that Kraft cheese, like macaroni shit or something.
Show the audience. I'd like to see.
what
So,
is
like
it, Mark?
it's
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. So it is buffalo sauce, tuna, beans, macaroni, and honey.
Beans.
Yeah.
he
Like,
just puts everything in the fridge in a bowl and he's happy.
Damn it! Is that what KFC learned from you?
KFC.
Probably.
Patton Oswalt had this whole bit like, God damn it, are we this fucking lazy to put all this shit in a bowl and then we just eat? You know?
So when I was in
He
college,
shovels
that's
it
all I
in.
in college. I lived off campus, and we always ate like at what was that shit? Hamburger Helper, right?
Oh shit!
And
Yeah,
we
it's
would
kind of
just-
like something like that.
we kind of just like ate like savages with it was a wooden. I remember this. It was like a wooden salad bowl, and I had a wooden spoon, and I would just sit there and like eat.
I wish that was me. I'm still my college doesn't offer off housing or off campus housing. So I either commute or I live in the dorms, and I'm living in the dorms, and I am just ready to just hunger strike until they give us something good because the food is not good.
You're in
I
college.
lucked out.
I'm a junior in college.
Oh my
It
god!
says
My college had great food. Dorm
said-
sucked, but the food was
Dorm
great.
food is not good. And
Where
this
did
is
you-
why my roommates did. Are
Christy,
Your dorm
did
had a
you-
Starbucks and a Chick-fil-A.
Yes, it did, and I loved it.
you kidding me?
No.
they're opening a
No.
Stream. I'm upset. Goodbye.
what's that, Christy?
Ball
Oh, I
State
opened up a
University.
They're
Fantastic food.
They're opening up
Dorm
a
sucked, though.
Hold on. They're opening up a Chick-fil-A.
near my house. Yeah, I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to drive in fucking LA traffic to get there. And sorry, the reception's like all overlapping people, so I apologize if I was interrupting. My college, I have to say, I can't bitch because my college food, the college food at my dorm was really good.
Yeah, mine was.
Where did you go to school?
UC Santa Barbara.
Right on.
Yeah.
We lost to Chad.
Good. Goodbye, Chad.
So did Chad,
Well,
did you get
no.
drunk and leave?
Well, now I feel totally outnumbered.
Yeah, it's like this.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Chris said that it's cat food marked as a garbage disposal.
Yeah,
Mark basically is a garbage disposal. Let's be honest.
Mark eats some weird shit, man. I'm not gonna be. I like Mark. Mark's the kind of person like you guys would be having like a really normal conversation,
And I just throw a wrench in it.
and then like Mark just makes everything very uncomfortable.
Hey, it's one of my gifts.
I mean, I don't get it, Mark. Why? So like here, Christy, I'll give you an example. Mark, for everybody that doesn't know Mark's history, Mark was a fisherman in Alaska, right?
For
You
7.
guys fucking anything, pretty much.
Yeah,
That was it.
I went up there commercially for 7 seasons or 7 summers. So
Damn.
from May till about now. Yeah, that was fun.
So and Kat is highly efficient, allergic to fish,
Pretty much.
anything, right?
The ocean.
Yeah.
So what does Mark try to bring home?
Oh, I brought home porcupines. I brought home. Oh, I tried.
Jellyfish.
I tried
In
the
hi-
fox
He had
once.
jellyfish inside of
His
his
pocket.
luggage.
No, it wasn't in my pocket. It was just all over my hoodies.
I went to do his laundry from him coming back. And
Oh,
I ended
shit.
up having to go to my doctor, and they didn't understand what was going on. I ended up having to go to not my normal allergist, but a specialist. And they're like, "Oh, sweetheart, these are jellyfish burns. When the fuck were you in the ocean?" Yeah, I had jellyfish burns on my arms, on my face, everywhere. It was horrible.
Mark is mean.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I've eaten jellyfish before, and it's funny because like my parents used to like obviously. Well, I'm Korean, so like, but they took me to a Chinese restaurant. We go to the hardcore Chinese restaurant, so I eat like jellyfish and shit. And then
Well, I
some
mean,
people were like, yeah,
You
some
just
people
can't-
are
you
like,
can't eat the tentacles.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's gross, oh, and like I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just eating all this shit. Like,
So Annie, since you're a YouTube virgin, we
Yes.
are.
You're just gonna make this so awkward tonight, aren't you? I'm
Chad.
gonna time you out, Chad.
Chad, that is my forte. You
Really,
cannot
my
make
God?
this awkward.
So
that like 30 seconds when you were gone, Chad. It was great.
oh,
Annie, if you need an adult, I will smack him. It's
There-
not that big an issue.
there are
I
safe
can call
words.
his mom, remember?
We're only
Wow,
6 hours.
you're taking my line.
Yeah, I'm taking your line.
Jeez, I call people's moms all the
What
time.
were you
Anyway,
going to say
Your
before
mom.
we all interrupted you?
no, if you get a chance, we look at the chat. To your right is a chat. If you have anything that you want to do, there's a private chat that you can message us over there on the
cool.
right hand.
Okay.
So feel free to do that. So Annie, what are you into? Let's start with the question number 1 to you.
In what context are we talking here?
Comics.
Chad.
Honestly, I used to intern for a really small indie startup, so
Okay.
that really got me into indie books. And of course, I grew up strictly Marvel. I was that person that's like, I cannot break loyalties, or and then I was like, wait a minute, these other brands aren't that bad. So I have definitely dabbled in a lot of everything. I would have to say that Valiant is a publishing house after my own heart.
Valiant? Is that what you said? Okay, very cool. So, what is the most recent book that you picked up?
See, that's where I'm gonna strife. I think the last good book that I picked up was House of X, House of X.
oh, House of X, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the X-Men, and they're not Valiant, but like that's like a team that I'm like, oh my god, they're so cool.
You know who else loves House of X?
Ooh,
The Drew Man shoot.
Really?
Yeah, and you know Drew.
Hey, I do know Drew. Yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed House of X. I just thought it was really rich in its storytelling and its illustration, and got to the core of what the symbolism behind everything in this, this fictional universe was going behind. And I definitely am a believer that Magneto is right. I think he is right. I will
So
stand-
I just got a message from Drew. He wanted me to share you this about that.
Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage. Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage.
there we go.
So now you and Drew can do karate in the
I'm
garage.
gonna fight Drew.
You know, I swear to God, at certain angles, what you're drinking, Annie,
Yeah.
it looks like pickle juice.
What is
It's
it?
know
an
it's not.
IPA, so it's very
That's not
close.
weird.
Kitty
Yeah, I
drinks
mean-
pickle juice.
I'm drinking this shit right here, Santan.
Well, hi, Midnighter.
What is that?
Nice.
Does that say pineapple?
It's a pineapple shandy, apparently.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That's another thing.
It's
I wanna
actually
drink.
tasty. The only other ones that I don't like are IPAs because like sometimes IPAs are too sour and you're like, no.
We got comics misexplained in the chat. All right, so Annie, we are going to introduce you to the world of Christy Shin, and that is none other than Demon Bitch.
Okay. That
And-
was my nickname in high school.
well.
That was my
So
That's a solid nickname.
There you go.
people didn't talk to me in high school. Continue.
Ricky Mark said he said hello to me in Discord. I don't know how that Discord works. I have no clue.
We suck at Discord.
I like somebody told me to start putting like there was a radio or music or something. I was like, this isn't happening. But anyway, misexplained. It's Natty Ice nowadays. Okay. Anywho, moving on, and we're gonna introduce Christy to a comic book. How do I do
That would
this?
be my comic.
Probably. Chris Barrett. For some reason, I feel like Annie's the only adult here. Probably.
Probably.
Probably. On a good day, absolutely. It depends on how quickly I get through that IPA.
They have a-
It's good. We're doing shots with Morgan here,
everybody should
so
Matthew's
my God.
going down like whatever. My cat.
Hey Jen.
Her big black ass right here. See how I ain't.
Okay. All right, here we go. Sharing screen.
Oh,
I'm
she's
getting
stepping
better.
on my stomach. Sorry, my cat. She's like,
All right. Here it is. Christy, you want to take us through it? Or do you want me to read? I can read. Or Cat. Can you read it? Or is it too small for you?
Ariel.
I'm having issues with the font.
All right,
thing right
I
now.
got
There
it.
we go. Demon bitch. I'm stupid. Who is the terrifying? Okay, this is really fucking.
I got it. Who is
Right
this
now.
terrifying creature? So pale, so strung out. Hell. She came from the 13th level of hell. The 13th level of hell is where they throw their shit and gum wrappers. She asked her creplutant father to grant her entrance into the world of man. Daddy, can I go? Fortunately, her father's snoring was taken as a consent. So she opens the gateway, Hell Satan, and ends up on Hollywood Boulevard. Hollywood Boulevard smells like piss and shit.
oh, I'm pretty sure it smells worse now. That's where a lot of the fucking.
So the first thing up there, it says, "Hey, look, it's Gwyneth Paltrow. This is pre Gwyneth's vagina candles. She gets a job. Good, I can tempt men now. Now the world conquest begins, and she becomes a stripper.
And it's a disgusting stripper. Actually, one of the girls that I knew that I thought was a bitch, and I started putting some elements of her in here. Apparently, she worked at a really fucking dirty strip club because one of my friends used to roommate with her, and she said she needed to use the bathroom. So she walked in there, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna go home and use the bathroom." It was like that nasty, that strip club.
Oh, it's so does this go to straight? It should take me to number 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it should.
Okay. I just do it on my phone. You know what I mean? So when is
Oh, please
Demon
don't.
Bitch?
Don't say that.
Is she based off of this girl?
She's based off of many girls I hate, all the characters. Like there are
Okay.
just some that they're like the frenemies that girls get. They're like the backstabbing cunt friends that you get. And then there's the ones that are just like the user ones that are kind of like nice at first, and then they flip on you like every so often, and then they unfriend you the moment that like you can't do anything for them. So they become real Jekyll and Hyde. So I just like going and fucking drawing their shit over and over, and it's like, here, take your ass whooping like a good girl.
Annie, questions?
I love Christy.
Question for me?
Or
A
no,
question
do you have any questions?
No, like I was saying, I think this is empowering because girls are very mean. I was saying that earlier. I don't know if you know how mean girls can actually be. They're nasty and they're vicious, and this is a revealing interpretation.
Oh yeah, I had to deal with them a lot. It's weird because it's like you'd be really surprised, like how many girls are like jealous of you. Like you don't do anything to them, and they go like, "I'm jealous of you. You're like prettier."
No,
and
what?
smarter."
You're
And I'm
not
like,
doing anything. That's the thing. You're just existing.
yeah,
Chris-
like they get mad at you, and they try
Christy,
to.
which is your favorite issue?
My favorite. Oh, the favorite strip.
Yeah, favorite strip.
Oh, I would say the most recent ones I think are my favorites because I get more vicious later on, and I think I'm like 100 something. Yeah, there's like ones that I've like drawn, and then later on they come true in my personal life. Not to me, but just about the situation I'm drawing about. I'm like,
Did you say 154?
I think 154. I think what was that one? A lot of the recent ones are my favorite.
154.
We can go through all of
is-
them because I could
Oh,
talk
the
to you.
roommate story.
He is an asshole, and you know why? Because I slept with him.
Oh, that one. Yeah, because I knew a girl that would like fuck all these dudes. And then she says, I hate that guy. He's such an asshole. And I'm like, why? And she's like, because I slept with him. Well, did he do anything? Was he a horrible person to you? No, he just slept with him. So
That's fair. That is
Yeah.
more than fair.
yeah, she thought he was a dick because she fucked him.
Okay, and that's it? Just because
Was
she
he not
regretted that
good?
later on?
I mean,
Well, there's yeah.
clearly it was rememberable by some extent.
So, some of the characters are obviously Demon Bitch, Egg Lady. Let's talk about Egg Lady for a second.
Egg Lady, I used to know a woman, and she was studying to be a lawyer, and we had been friends for quite some time. And she did some really very, very fucked up, shitty things. I won't get into here, but they're pretty bad. But one of the things she would do, I don't know if you girls have ever had girlfriends like this, like you have somebody, you're with somebody, and then they go like, oh, and then when you break up, they go like, well, I knew he was fucked up for every single one of them. And she would do that to me. Or she'd curse it, like say like, well, don't put your eggs all in one basket or something. And like, what the fuck? Like she would, let's say if she went up to Kat and Mark, she would be like this, oh, it's nice that you're in a relationship, but it's not going to last forever. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That type of shit. Like she didn't do it just to me, but other people.
You
Like
must-
Kat has this look on her face like, this bitch.
I actually have a friend that when we actually eloped, because we've been together for 15 years.
Oh,
we,
wow.
we finally just eloped like a year ago. And thank you. But a friend of mine was like, that's really great and everything. You guys actually made it official, but you are both the product of broken homes because we're both from like divorced families and like
who said
whatever.
this?
Whatever. Anywho, I just kind of looked at her and she's like, the odds of you two actually making it. And I looked at her, I was like, well, seeming as the fact that I've been with him for X amount of years and you can't make it 2 months in a relationship, I think I'm doing something right.
2? That's so... Man, the bar is on the ground.
So,
Yeah.
all right, we have another character, and her name is Brown Starfish.
Oh, brown starfish. Yeah, it's up there. Brown starfish is just like a little fucking brown starfish with seeds for eyes. And I kind of got the idea from Preacher, ass face.
Yeah.
Try blowing his face off or head off. So it kind of gave me that inspiration. He just like floats around saying, I'm an asshole. Like that. And he just looks like a big fucking anus because I think of brown starfish and I'm just disgusting that way. But I did not finish talking about Egg Lady. So the Egg Lady, the thing is that with that same friend, she had actually studied to be a lawyer. She did become a lawyer, a criminal and immigration lawyer. But what she would do is that she would steal immigrants. This was way before. This is after I found this out after I stopped talking to her. But she basically would take immigrants' money, not do their paperwork, not tell them their court date, and almost get them deported. And she got fucking disbarred. And now she is gaining weight like Jabba the Hutt, although I think Jabba the Hutt is in better shape. And she is trying to be an athlete, a triathlete. And one time, like those pressure suits athletes wear, like the long arm.
By triathlete, she's trying to be an athlete by dressing like one, right?
Oh, it gets worse. Like she runs.
Does she actually
trundles.
do any athletics? Like, does she actually try?
She
And
trundles.
does she put the try in triathlete?
She trundles. Like
Oh, no.
and then she wears the other pressure suit is that like, like tank top one, but it's like bike shorts too.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't midriff.
God,
And she
no.
runs. And one time I was like, look, I just happened to see her, and I don't talk to her. I just happened to see her, and she was wearing 2 suits, and I'm like going, I know she's getting fatter because we call her Egg Lady. My other friend cursed her because she called her Egg Lady, and she didn't grow like as an egg like this. She grew as an egg like this.
Oh no.
So she looks like a goddamn troll. And then
Oh.
she's like, and now if anybody wants to get pissed at me that I body shame, no, she's a fucking cunt and I don't like her. So she's a bitch. I don't care. Make fun of whatever you got. But anyway, but no, she trundles. Like she'll actually have her husband like record her as she runs down the street. And I'm like, oh, and then she ran behind.
Wait a minute, she's married?
Yeah, she's married.
How?
I don't know. She just found some stupid guy to get married to her, but they're both equally really ugly. So I think that's okay.
You know
I kind of feel
what?
more sorrier for him than her.
I'm gonna tell you something really funny. So back in high school, there was a teacher who I student taught underneath and everything. And one of his things was if any of the seniors didn't have a date, he would go out of their way to try to help find them a date. And there was this girl who just a complete bitch, didn't have a date, and she came to him and she shot down every single opportunity, every single guy that we like brought up to her, whatever. And it finally got to the point where he looked at her and he's like, look, he's like, you can be a bitch and have a date to prom. He's like, you can be a fucking ugly ass horse and have a date to prom. He's just like, but he's like, you can even have a nasty attitude and just whatever and have a date to prom. He's like, you can't be the trifecta. You can't be all of it and have a date to prom.
Oh my God.
That was my favorite teacher.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, but going on about Egg Lady.
Egg Lady.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. She eats all these potatoes and she doesn't really work out. And whenever I see her swim, it's kind of like she's really bad at swimming. I can't show it, but it's like one arm is dead and the other one kind of works and she kind of flails around like a drowning dog. But now she swims, she can only make it to half the lane in the pool down the distance, and she just goes super slow. And one of my friends happened to watch that and he said, did they just record it slow? Did somebody record it in slow? And I said, no, that's her actually fucking swimming. That's her speed.
All right. Well, now we're gonna move. There was a comment in the chat that said it looked like somebody Egg Lady looks like she's straight out of Pink Flamingo.
Oh, Divine. Yeah, Divine's character. She kind of it looks like that, doesn't she? And she speaks in a girl ass voice.
But the next up is Tammy Pond.
Yeah, Tammy Pond. So, because the story about Tammy Pond is actually, Tammy Pond kind of represents like the sad part of me that put up with all this shit. So the story behind Tammy Pond is that she basically was a used tampon from a nasty old hooker's vagina, swimming in STDs. And Demon Bitch's father found her because Demon Bitch said, oh, it's my birthday, you should get me something. But he was bored and he didn't give a fuck about her. So he just didn't want to hear it. So he found this and he brought her to life to be a friend to Demon Bitch.
Oh,
so she is magically bound to Demon Bitch, but actually Tammy Pond is not the worst character. She's actually the nicest character out of all of it. But she's obligated to be around them due to magic. Sucks.
Sorry, I had my screen was like giving us so moving on. Bed hopping horse.
Okay, Bed Hopping Horse is based off of some friends, like their husband cheated on them with a girlfriend or something. And it's always some fucking bitch that's like always a vegan, quote unquote, exercise bulimic, but yet has this weird unhealthy gut because they probably binge eat on sweets that are probably not vegan. And like they don't really have a real job. And they basically think that there's a good, stable man out there, but they always hook up with married dudes. And what ends up happening is that they crash at their house for a few years and then they break up with him in this mad drama thing after they've ruined this guy's his marriage and everything and the relationship and everything, and then they kind of just go from thing. They're kind of like a long-term parasite, like a tumor.
I get it. And Kat, I can't read that.
Cunt man.
Cunt man.
Cool.
Why should you feel ashamed? I think I call everybody cunt.
Yeah, but I watched the Harley Quinn show, and
It was good. It was very good, and it's renewed. They just renewed it for a third season. I'm excited about that.
All right. So let's talk about. Yep.
Just say it.
Just say C-man. Just say C-man. It's
Chad,
fine.
it's just cunt man. It's fine. It's
Chad's very uncomfortable.
Yep.
We're gonna see how uncomfortable we can make Chad tonight. Okay, ladies.
So actually,
I can get down with that. All right.
Thanks.
So
Yeah.
Cunt Man was based on shitty roommates my friends had. And there's this one guy that was like a real piece of shit. I mean, it looked like he fucking had a ball sack for cheeks. And then with some imagination, I imagined this being a fucking nasty ass cunt. So I just turned it around and I just drew it this whole thing. And then he had like a beard, but it looked like he had pubes coming out from the sides like a ball sack. So I just drew him that way.
So we're moving,
room.
and that's the strip. This is the strip right here.
Yeah.
Now, what do you use? I mean, what do you draw on?
I use Clip Studio Paint. I
Okay.
use Clip Studio Paint and I color using that.
Now, did you put Demon Bitch? Did you place it over the brown starfish?
Yeah, I did that by accident. I don't know why I
Okay.
did that. I think I was just tired.
All right. Now we're moving back to go. We're going backwards in this.
Chad just said to say the word. Treat it like you're Billy Butcher, says Chris. I think you got that. Okay.
Okay. I think I got the green light. All right. The fans. Fuck
Yeah.
you. I don't need you. Fame and fortune. This bitch life. You fucking failed.
Yeah. Have you noticed like people that actually get something that what they want and they shit all over it?
Mhm.
That's that
Yeah.
part.
So,
Yeah. You know what? That gets a. I gotta find it. I gotta go. Where is it? Damn it! I don't have it. Shit! I was gonna have hashtag classic. Hashtag classic. No, absolutely. So this all stems from your experiences, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. My
So-
experience with people.
Who's the cock?
Who's the cock?
No, who's the cock?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
It's just like some artists that I knew. It's like this. The thing is that like what I find interesting about some artists, and I consider myself an artist, is that I kind of think that sometimes artists like shoot themselves in the foot. It's not easy being an artist, right?
No.
But here's the thing: what pisses me off about some artists, they'll like bitch and piss and moan how their life is hard, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and give them suggestions how things are better. Like, some artists go like, well, this person's bullying me and they're harassing me and doing all this shit and everything. And I've had that happen to me online before, and I just said, well, just go do this, this, and that, because it worked for me, right? It stopped the problem. And they go like, well, I don't want to do it. And then they continue bitching about the same thing again. And I'm like, all right. Or sometimes they'll go like, oh, well, I can't make sales online. I can't do this online. And then, having made sales online and having done this online, I give them suggestions. I say, well, you could probably do this and that. And like how they interact with fans. My fans, I don't like them and everything. And I say, well, you should probably interact with them more. And they don't listen to what I have to say. And then they kind of bitch about the same thing over and over again. And they eventually trash their own following. And I go like, and then they bitch again saying, how come they can never get on in life? And I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't have all the answers. I just tell them what works. And hey, if they don't want to do the things that I do, that's fine. But I mean, it's just like, if you just do knowingly self-destructive shit, it's kind of stupid. Or you go and bitch at everybody that doesn't like your artwork. It's like, come the fuck on, guys. Like, really.
So I mean, we kind of Christy, Annie, and Kat and I, our connection comes from comic book cons, right? In a roundabout way. Well, no, Kat, you've been like my sister for 2 years, so it's kind of anyway. But nonetheless,
Sister from another mister.
so like Christy, it is. Does this? How has this year impacted you? Like as far as the shows go.
Well, I can't really do anything, really. I mean, I've been kind of like locked up in here, but I've made small appearances and shit, so it's not like I'm totally dead. I have made online sales as I've gone along. I'm in 101 Tales coming up, so and I'm releasing exclusive. So I'm doing what I can, but really, it's just sort of like I'm at home. I kind of go out and hang out and stuff, but I draw
Okay.
as well. So I've been drawing a lot. I do a lunch hour every day, Monday through Friday, from 12:30 to 1:30 Pacific Standard Time.
So for the the newbie, I'm gonna let her ask questions.
I'm gonna ask questions. Okay. Since you kind of figured out how you guys do this a lot, what was the push to start streaming and to start streaming about this specific topic? What was that draw to broadcast and to
About comics?
Just broadcast in general, especially
Okay.
about comics.
Kat, I'm gonna jump in and then I'm gonna let you go because you have a pretty cool story. But at the time, I used to have a channel called Reviews from the Batcave.
Mhm.
And it was me and this other guy. And the reason it was called Reviews from the Batcave is because he converted his downstairs into a Batcave.
Oh no way!
Yeah, with like
That's really cool.
That's
Like-
really cool.
you actually went into the cave
Mhm.
through a grandfather's clock.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
did he do this himself?
yeah, he made the whole thing
That is
himself.
insane. That is unreal.
And
Wow.
so we did review we did reviews on like comics and then TV shows and then at the time, this was before anybody could go live. You had to get 1,000 subs before you can go live. So once we got 1,000 subs, we started doing a show which was eventually evolved into the Comic Core. And we did it live on Friday nights, and it was really cool because anybody could join it, and it was like basically a drink fest, and everybody had a good time just talking until we got hacked and somebody showed their wiener. So
As you mentioned
yeah,
last week.
and then
This week.
our channel literally got taken down like within 5 minutes, and
Oh, damn.
I mean like
It's gone.
so they it was kind of weird. They jumped into the chat. This is why you never want to put your link in the chat, because people will jump in, they'll kick you out. They kicked all of us out, and then they took over the show, and then instantly the show got taken down. The channel got taken down, the whole nine. So the cool thing out of it was that some of the people wanted to continue and wanted to see it go through, and that's hence why Comic Core came out.
There you go.
Mhm.
And I think it was Chuck Lindsay over.
Chuck Lindsay. I fucking love Chuck Lindsay, man. That's my guy.
So I think it was his 100th episode. He had asked us, Reviews from the Batcave, to be on his show and review a Thanos book. So that's how we got to know Chuck.
There you go.
But we always knew Kat, and like nobody talked it. Like Kat kept it to herself, and but like Legend loved her, and we all loved her to death, and like so much so that we actually would go. we would do the Cat Ren. Cat Ren does.
You can't even do my wave correctly.
She has her own entrance. Like she used to review for DC fans.
DC fans,
Yeah. So we knew you from that, and then all you guys were pumping out tons more before. So then we asked her to jump on. And I can remember it. You were like, somebody's like, "Well, are you coming back, Kat?" And we're like, "Yeah, she's the new host." And we never let her leave. It's 2 years we have not let her leave. Like she's taken off, but I mean, we have like off-air conversations, and it's formed into a family, you know, like really close family. And then my relationship with Christy, she came on Mainframe, and then I consider her a good friend of mine because Christy and I have. I mean, I've talked to her about some serious shit in the past like couple months, and she was helping me try to help Samson even. So,
Oh, thank you. I just feel kind of bad about that. I was,
it turned out that Sam had stomach cancer. So,
oh, that's fucked
Man,
up.
man, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and what was terrible about the situation, we were treating him for his back because we thought it was his back because he was all hunched over, and the doctors were actually prescribing him. I told Kat this the other night. This is the one thing that bothers me because my dog was a big dog and all he liked to do was eat, and he was so hungry, but we didn't know that because he wouldn't eat. But yet we were making him even more hungry by adding an appetite stimulant. So it just makes that bums me out tons. But that's how I got here, and the reason I continue doing it. I don't do it for the views. I don't do it for the subs. There's zero money involved in this shit. It's just really the bonds we make and the friendships and how we can help each other. Like the industry itself, I've learned is very, very cutthroat. And I'm not talking YouTube. YouTube, that's a whole fucking Game of Thrones type shit there. But when it comes to comic books, that's like Game of Thrones and everybody's Freddy Krueger. I mean, the comic book industry is very cutthroat. So I have like my set of like my broadcast friends who I consider my family, but then we also have our comic creators like Christy and Rylan Grant and David Avalone and David Pepos and Frank Gogol and all those guys. Well, I personally know that all of them are going to be the next big wave. They're going to be the next Donny Cates and Scott Snyders, and I think right now is an opportunity for the industry to be very. This is like a turning point for the industry. You know, DC's making its own decisions and Marvel's doing its own thing. And I think this is an opportunity for like the independents to really come in. And I mean, look what Kickstarter is doing. The people on Kickstarter's self-funding, crowdfunding is just killing it. So I really think that do I think floppies are always going to be around? Yes, I do. Do I think digital is a new platform that's going to reach a broader audience? Absolutely. So I'm sorry, I answered a lot of your question in a whole different way. So
that's the point of it. I ask questions for a living, so thank you for giving a great answer.
So Catran, can you do it? I even
Please do it correctly.
I almost fell out of the chair. Can you just give it one time on the Comic Core? Have you ever done it on the Comic Core?
Yeah, I have on the Comic Core, but I'll do it again. It's no problem.
Hey, this is it. Drum roll.
Don't make fun of me for this.
I'm
Okay,
not.
this is how
I'm
I do my intro. Hi, welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we're talking about.
And then she goes into it.
Yeah, and I
Dude, I like that. That's super cute.
They always want to make fun of me for it, but yeah. So I started off with YouTube because I was stressed out at work, so I got back into comics. That was a big part, like me being stressed from school and stressed from work and everything and all that. And I got back into comics. And my big thing was I didn't necessarily have a community to talk about books or to like kind of jump off different ideas like, oh, well, this is something you should check out. This is this, this is that. And a lot of our local shops around here weren't the most accepting, I guess, honestly. And
What do you mean by that? What do you mean as not the most accepting?
I walked into a shop and actually had someone tell me, oh, well, here's our Gwenpool. Oh, no, it's Gwenpool. Here's our Squirrel Girl section. That was the character that they were trying to throw me at. Here's our Squirrel Girl section. I walked in there with I wanted to get back up to date with Starfire. That's
Sure.
my girl. I want to get back up to date with
She's a
Starfire.
badass, Yeah.
I had been reading the New 52's Harley Quinn. Like, I think it was like on issue 7 or something at the time. I wanted to get caught up with Red Hood and the Outlaws because Red Hood was my boy. I wanted to know what was going on with my Bat family. You know, like I had various characters. Well, like I was like, you know, I had certain issues. Like, hey, I want to try to find these issues. Do you have these? Da da da. And they were trying to steer me towards these different things, and it was very much like a I'm not actually listening to you kind of conversation, like glass.
Right. No, I get that. I do.
And I mean, we still get that from time to time when you enter a comic shop. It honestly depends what shop you enter into. And one of our local shops is run by this tiny little Korean woman who's the greatest thing known to mankind. I tell you, I originally went to the shop as a little girl, and I'd go there for like Pokemon tournaments.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And now going there, I don't know if she's really protective of me or if she just thinks I'm like fantastic or what, but she shooed people out of the store. He walked in after me once because he was parking the car and just like dropped me off the front and came in, and she tried to shoot him off. She's like, you, her? No, you out. I was like, oh, he's with me. It's fine. And she sizes him up, gives him the once over, and turns to look at me and says, "Are you sure?" Like,
fucking touch your ass. I actually punched a guy in like the fucking kidneys for touching my ass, and he was 7 foot tall, and I punched him really hard in the kidneys.
Did he pee?
Good.
she's
I don't know
fantastic.
if he's blood. I hope so, but you know.
I love you, Christy. But like every time I go into the shop, she's giving me advice about like money, and I should be doing this, and I should be doing that. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about this. So we talk about random things for like 45 minutes.
No, she is pretty neat.
She's fantastic, though.
In order to cash you out, she has to get up on a pedestal to reach across the counter.
No, I
Cool.
Tiny.
Stop it.
She's adorable. She's like the greatest thing known to mankind.
I'm
I'm
sure
not
she
even
will
kidding.
do a review in there or something. I'm sure she'll let us know.
Oh my gosh. But so I started Cat Run Figures, and it was just my way of like, hey, these are some books I'm reading. This is some nonsense that I like, you know, this is this. And I started getting a lot of really mean comments. That was pretty quick. Things like,
Wow.
show your boobs, or clearly this chick's scripted, da 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 da. And the big thing was
They all
people
thought that
saying that the collection wall behind me, which I've got a pretty big collection wall, was all his, and I was just being put in front of the camera because I'm a chick, and it's clickbaiting apparently.
I don't know. I probably would have been an asshole. I said, well, I guess it must bother you that I get some every night, but whatever.
Whatever.
Just be an asshole, like a total fucking asshole.
No, she was really into the comics. I was really into the technical part of it. So make sure the lighting was right and all the edits were cut and make sure the sound was right, this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's just my hobby. Photography and videography and lighting. And yeah, remember Baltimore, Chad?
To production, though. Production is what makes everything go.
But we kind of got brought into the comic book community, and there's clearly been some ups and downs there, a lot of drama there, some of which I'd rather not talk about. But I was really
That lonely Canadian.
we don't discuss
Yeah.
that.
You can't say that. He's like Beetlejuice. If you say his name 3 times, he appears.
Might actually appear.
Beetlejuice.
But I didn't want to do another live stream. I had a couple very bad interactions with people, and just really it kind of beat me down to the point where it's like I didn't want to involve myself in any of that. And I was trying to get into DC fans, and I was kind of in talks with them at the time, and I wasn't sure if that was going anywhere. And I had people that kept approaching me like, hey, just show up in the Comic Core. Go to the Comic Core. Let's go Comic Core. And Chad just kept sending me messages like, hey, let's be on the Comic Core. Let's do Comic Core. And I was like, I don't know this guy. Yeah, I know he was on reviews for the Batcave. That's awesome. I don't know this guy. And it was Legend and Midwest Comic Man who actually got me to appear for one time episode. They're like, no strings attached. You know, if you feel uncomfortable, you can leave, whatever. He's never let me leave since.
And we're
He's
not
got
going
me
to.
chained to the freaking computer. I'm not allowed to leave. But no, it was a lot of fun, and it's spun into a lot of other things. We've done cons together. We've had a lot of Airbnb experiences together, including Mark and Drew Manchu going ghost hunting at a couple of our Airbnbs.
Oh fuck, that would be fun. I need to do that shit. You guys don't live near me.
That's what I want, right? Like I'm excited about is like getting back to the B&B
Right.
and like actually getting to hug Christy when I see her.
Dude,
Christy, we're huggers. We're
Con,
huggers.
we were
We're
supposed
big
to
huggers.
and it was supposed to be right around my birthday.
Mhm.
And we were gonna do this like whole zip line over a gator pit.
Oh my god, that sounds like so much
And
fun.
Chad
Where?
kept saying he was gonna like push Mark over the gator pit.
I'd arrested an alligator. I need to.
we had so many plans planned before, but you know everything that's going on right now, and I miss my comic fam. I have members of my family who have a lot of health issues and concerns. So while yes, I am technically an essential worker, and I have been thankful enough to still been working through all of this, I do avoid crowds and going.
Good on
to
you. That's very
conventions
righteous of you. Very righteous, very moral, very ethical.
with everything that's going on. Yes, there are still some
Yeah.
cons open. It's not worth the risk to me. I mean, my mom has heart issues, and
Oh, same here. I get it. Yeah,
it's not worth it.
I get it.
Or
but-
sometimes when we go to the store, it's like, oh, there's too many people. We'll come back later.
Just leave.
I kind of had that habit beforehand, but it was mostly people pissing me off. It was just like, get the fuck out of my way, leave me alone. I don't know, it's like weird because I'm kind of turning into a cantankerous old bitch sometimes because it's like, and then all of a sudden my like sleep patterns got fucked up where I would wake up really early. So I'm like, oh, let me go to the store. Let me go get gas. Wow, there's no line. I like this. I just go and leave. That was kind of habits I had beforehand. So like even my friends, like they would stay up all night and shit. And then like it's like for me, I barely sleep sometimes. I don't know what it is. Like when Chad called me, I was like starting to nap and he's like, oh, you want to be on? I'm like, oh, okay. And then I could sleep for fucking normally. But so I like started messaging. So like I'll like wake up at 5 a.m, start messaging my friend. I mean, I'm not annoying about it, but then she'll be like, Christy was up early. You know, like my friends just apparently I have no capacity for sleep. It's like I either run and then I crash. That's it. So that's it.
You got to be careful with Chad. I've woken up before with the phone in my hand in bed and talking to Chad. I won't remember anything of the conversation, but we're in the middle of a story apparently.
Well, there's been times where I mean, like, there's a lot of times where they're like, "Well, we're gonna end the conversation because they'll be on the phone with me," and they're like, "Oh, Chad's sleeping."
Chad's sleeping.
Or
Mark,
worse.
we've done that to you. Mark, you've fallen asleep a couple times.
I've fallen asleep on stream before.
Yeah, you have. That's kind of weird.
I've
So,
actually
Christy,
like
go
fallen
ahead.
asleep when I'm like this, like I'm doing this thing.
It's like, oh, did Chrissy just pass away?
I
Yeah,
am. I just got a text message. Well, not a text message, but an email. How do you unblock somebody from your channel? Because one of our wrenches has blocked. One of our wrenches have blocked one of the best trollers in the game. Lion Den has been blocked.
Dude,
lying dead.
Lion
Who's lying dead?
No.
Yeah, you haven't. Okay, so here's a question: does Annie like comic books? And that is from Ricky Markstad.
Hello, Ricky. I do. I am the biggest dork on the face of the earth. that's like what you guys were saying about cons and having that comic meet and everything like that. I used to work for a small indie company, and that really got me into this whole thing. Sticking with them, I used to tour show to show to show and market for them and do PR for them. And I just grew up reading books. I found people that loved the books as much as I did. I really, really got into it. It was just something that was always there for me. I loved the stories being told. I was fascinated by the diversity within these universes. I loved, how there are certain things that could be so personal and so interactive about comic books. So yeah, I guess you could say I do.
You are so innocent. We need to get you jaded quickly.
Oh God! Well, I have pictures of
calm
the thing that
down.
being excised from my
Calm
blood. You
down,
want to see that? No, just kidding.
I just think they're neat. I just think they're cool.
Well, and you're being a little bit humble too, Annie. Annie is actually an official reviewer for Rotten Tomatoes, right?
I am a
Oh,
Rotten
no.
Tomatoes. I am. Can I go off on that for a little bit?
Oh,
Dude.
God, sure.
So I am the youngest professional entertainment journalist in the Chicago area. I've been working with Rotten Tomatoes for 3 years now. I have been attending film festivals, galas, all that really good stuff since I was 17. I'm 21. I did that through high school, my last 2 years of high school into early college, and then through now mid-college. I have been extremely privileged and honored to be taken under the wing of some unbelievable folks and some really, really just amazing people through the film community and through the entertainment world. And it has been a blessing. They have put up with me being wide-eyed and innocent and naive and as an equally cutthroat, competitive community. I love it.
It's actually good to be somewhat to be naive and a little innocent. Sometimes that goes a little too soon. Maybe I don't think the naivety is bad to go, but I think being jaded is not necessarily the nicest thing to be.
Oh no, and there's a difference between.
Yeah.
I can definitely hold my own, but I'm not gonna, allow myself to be super cynical about everything I watch. And I know people like
That's
that. Like, man, lighten up.
I know one person
34
like
years old. We got a wife and kids. It's not that deep. We're all here for the same thing.
I know one person like that. But Kat, go ahead.
I have one question. I fully agree. Keep the stars in your eyes as much as you can.
Is that the question?
No.
I just think how Mark has a fucking old carton of
Oh,
it.
go ahead.
I have a real question. The second you said you're a Rotten Tomatoes reviewer, where do you rank on shark movies?
Oh God.
Depends on the shark.
So
I liked the Megalodon. I like Jason Statham. Even though he's bald.
you're not even in the ballpark, Annie.
Oh no.
Annie, we
Where
are
do you-
talking.
where do
Let's
you
go
rank
back.
on
Let's go back to the 13. What was it? 13 Things of Hell. Cat.
Dante's Inferno, The Rings of Hell, yeah.
Oh,
That's a good
Yeah. So, honestly, Cat will take. I propose right now
Okay.
a show.
Okay.
I demand a show.
Are you going
will-
to call me again out of the blue and demand a show?
Probably. You probably
Yeah.
will.
that's my thing. But
He's gonna call you at all hours.
He's going to call me and be like, hey, this is Chad, and then hang up, and then call me again 2 minutes later.
No, he's gonna call you and say, "Hey, this is Chad." Da da da. Oh, hold on, my mom's calling. I'll call you right back, and he'll put you on hold, and then he'll hang up.
No. Or be like,
And when
Oh,
the
hold
day
on.
comes,
for the one
Wait.
time I talked to Tad, he's like, hold on, Mark. I was on hold for 25 minutes.
and I came back and I'm like, oh, why are you still here?
How do you tell me hold on?
Or he calls me and he says like, "Hey, are you going to bed? You want to go and hang out with us?" I said, "Okay."
All right,
So-
continue, Chad. Continue.
Cat has
they're demanding
re-
a show out of me.
yes.
Correct.
I think you, Christy, and Kat, and if we could get another person,
My roommate will do it. She wants to do it.
would be fantastic. What and Kat picks a movie and she tells you all to watch it, and then you all review it.
You don't want to let me pick the movie. I'm gonna
So,
tell you
like,
that right
How
now.
you doing?
So
Yeah,
some
can you pick the absolute most like awful movies for us?
that is the only thing she watches.
Can you pick like your top 10 guilty pleasures or whatever, and we do a series of your favorite bad movies?
Look, Kat just
Yes.
fell in love.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Did we just become best friends? And
I think we did. And I think we're gonna have some karate in the garage because
We're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage.
so my second channel is
Can I be Drew? Can I
Yes.
pick the part of
oh,
Drew?
you're gonna filibust too? Holy shit! This is amazing.
so
I will
My-
only go through with this if we watch The Room with Tommy Wiseau.
I've never actually seen that. Surprisingly,
You're killing me, Lisa.
probably one
Oh
of the
my
one
god,
of the only worst films I've never actually seen.
I love it.
I have a segment on my second channel that's called Sharkathon.
Is it? Can we multicast all of the Sharknado movies on one screen,
That'd be
Yes.
like all 18 or whatever they are, and then it's like, you know how you can do that on YouTube, where it has all of them lined up in
You
little
thought that
squares.
Sharknado was one of the worst movies.
Oh,
Oh,
fun.
no,
I
no,
heard,
no.
I heard Jennifer's body
I'm
was
gonna get a
terrible.
Sharknado tattoo. What if I
Dude.
just got a Sharknado tattoo like on my arm? And it was
Nightmare Shark.
dedicated to Shark.
What about
if
Jennifer's
if
body?
Sharknado
Jennifer's
had
body.
a fight with the demon bear from the fucking what's it called?
I'll show you guys something from.
You know what I'm talking about?
Keep on talking because Christy just said something.
Jennifer,
And
Because Christy just said something.
And-
what did you say?
she,
What did you
she
say?
did- she said Jennifer's body, but I want to show you guys something like
Jennifer's
Wait,
body
wait.
is very high budget compared to the films that I
like
well, I
listen.
mean, like it's bad. That would be bad too because it's like it's high
Um,
budget and you have an expectation of it, but it sucks.
If,
It's kind of a
Are we
guilty
just talking
pleasure.
about disappointing movies?
I would consider those bad too.
no,
that's
you guys
fair.
don't understand.
killing.
Cat watches terrible shit.
I do.
Kat, what do you think of the Twilight Saga, and why is it
No,
why is it peak cinema?
I'm also thinking of Mono's Hands of Fate and the MST3K movies that they make fun of.
you guys are still not even in her fucking realm. I'm telling you. Like
There was one that I saw like of a show that I did of selling stuff, and like I guess these were like supposed to be like vegan nudist, like fucking like something. I don't even know. It
now
was, like,
you're getting in the ballpark.
And then
You're
like
almost
this
there.
one lady was supposed to be old, obviously was played like a dude, but it was supposed to have like really like long saggy tits, and it was a joke. So it was like these long saggy tits, obviously made out of paper mache, stuck to him, and he had a shitty wig on. And every time he swung around, it would like clear the table or something. You never really saw the end of the tit, but it was like right there. I couldn't even remember what it was, but it was like vegan zombie things, vegan nudist zombies or something. So I guess they all died or committed all suicide, and then they all like came back to life and was really shit.
Have you guys seen anything by Neil Breen? Have you guys seen anything by Neil Breen?
I don't know the name.
Neil
Oh,
Breen.
that's favorite ice cream.
What?
That was good.
What films? What film? He likes eggnog, so I just get him whatever is
Eggnog is
eggnog.
superior.
Eggnog
Um,
flavor.
eggnog is very good. I want to go to Starbucks to get their eggnog thing. Neil Breen makes all of his movies on like Microsoft Movie Maker or Windows Movie Maker. They are all
Okay.
shot at community college campuses after dark, where he can go and use the campus for public use. He plays himself in multiple roles. You were talking about the paper mache tits. He
Yeah.
has like paper mustaches taped to his lip.
Yes.
It is.
Oh,
It's
God.
all picture because I was
You're
like,
getting closer.
oh.
You're getting closer to my kinds of films.
I think
Oh, God.
you're saying all this like it's so out. Like oh my god.
the
he
kicker,
actually
when they're filmed in the dark, he only has the budget for like one light, and it's like one of those office lamps. And you get a back or whatever with like the adjustable like wire bending handle. So there's only one. Like if I turned off my like one of my lights here, and it would just be my lamp, and you would get like half of my face.
Yes.
They are. He also writes his own reviews. You won't know, but you have to buy his movies on DVD. They cannot be pirated. And then he writes his own reviews, and they are all 5 stars.
Of course they are. 'Cause they're fantastic.
Father Tucker.
As he
Okay,
likes
so-
to say, they're pure genius.
See,
All
so
right,
the thing is like sometimes I love shitty animation instead of shitty films because my attention span is shit. So like Tony, if you remember Tony, like we were all kind of getting, well, you guys were all
Oh, I
getting
remember
drunk.
Tony. I remember Tony.
Yeah, you guys are fucking with each other about being
We were
Italian.
We were super drunk on off airs with Tony.
Yeah, and then it was so funny because Chad like fucking just left and went to the drive-through or something.
Oh, he does that all.
His drive-through people are hilarious, though.
So it's like Father Tucker. So it's like Father Tucker, and the song goes like it's about a Catholic priest, and the song starts. The theme song's like Father Tucker, child fucker, treats your kid like an all-day sucker, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's bad. And like he did another one called what is it? It was like it was about a kid that like lived through an abortion and a coat hanger through his head. And it was just like this demented ass shit, like right there. I think it's like, it's Preemie Petey. I think that was his name, Dean Packus. And they did another one about the rats on cocaine.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
That's so funny. It's like you're just like,
I watched the one about rats on cocaine because,
yeah,
even though I am not a rat on cocaine, I feel that.
All right. I am prepared to show you guys something real quick, okay? Here
Okay.
it is. This is a cat movie.
Does that
Okay.
say Sharkansas or Sharkansas?
Yeah, that's Sharkansas. I made the mistake of thinking that it was Sharkansas.
It looks like
Got
Sharkansas.
corrected by
So
the star of that movie.
I'm going to share something with you guys. And I'm even turn the audio up on this one. You ready, Kat?
Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre.
Oh,
So if you, we got to throw a little bit of mainframe in here. So on
not
mainframe
that main frame.
2, Hall
That's my company.
E.
I'm not sure when that's coming out, but I think in the next
Nobody
few months,
like.
the
And
rideshare killer.
so this
Oh
is
no!
our.
Don't you dare show that interview. Oh God! Oh dude, that was
why
the
is
most
it
uncomfortable
terrible?
interview ever. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, she's basically a porn star. And the entire time she was making up stories. And Chad kept zooming in on her.
And I like,
Oh
So-
my god.
there was a
Yeah,
Trisha Paytas.
that was
okay. Of course.
I was trying so hard the entire interview.
You're like, that's interesting. So of course I pick it up. I'm like, this is the motherfucking crystal meth right here. So of course I come out and I'm like, did anybody like forget they're like
she looks fun though.
She looks like a good time.
She's a porn star.
She is.
Everybody fucking it was a whole thing, right? So and nobody got in trouble, but somebody lost their crystal meth that day. Yeah.
How do you?
I have a feeling I know who it was too. We had this guy, this blonde local guy working as like a grip or whatever. And that dude was like sitting outside chewing on a toothbrush. So yeah, that was his, you're chewing a toothbrush. That's your crystal meth. That's your little baggie. So anyways, so yeah, that's the time I found the crystal meth. And then there was then we were almost eaten by alligators several times. And then there was the
When were
deadly.
you almost eaten by alligators? Let's not brush past that. When were you almost eaten by gators?
That's a whole other. That would take way too long. But I can tell you about the what are they called? The water moccasins. The deadliest water moccasins. So you do know I mean.
Yeah.
So that's the content that you get over at
No,
Mainframe Comic
and
Con.
it's like
Titties?
I will tell you the
Did
whole
you say
reason why.
titties?
I said titties.
What's that?
Yeah, you basically see
Yeah,
them.
you're
Chad
on
kept
slogan.
zooming into it.
I kept on zooming in on him while
I kept zooming out.
yeah, just to piss
You're
Cat
just
off.
there.
So
Beach balls.
all right,
you know.
I gotta get this other video up. What is this called?
There's another
From-
one.
Preemie Petey?
It's really disgusting.
No, I don't know if I want to do this.
People are crying, and then it's like unsubscribe.
Why are you so loud? Sorry, I
It's on
can't hear my
YouTube.
Is
cat.
this gonna get you kicked off of YouTube? Can like someone report that or ban that?
Actually, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it is. Okay, never mind. Proceed.
Chris
It's really
Barrett
bad,
just
though.
put a
Oh, it's a cartoon.
jewel in the chat.
It's a really bad cartoon. Like, I mean, I say bad in a good way because it's fucked up, but it's like, oh my god, why the fuck?
What did
I
Chris
don't know.
Barrett put in the chat? Cat?
Ghost Shark. That movie is a jewel.
What is
100% Ghost Shark.
What the
Oh,
hell
if you've
is
never heard of Ghost Shark, you don't
Ghost Shark
I
is
clearly never heard of
so
Ghost
horrible.
Shark.
It's one of the greatest shark movies ever because it's so bad. It is so fantastically bad.
know. Is this
So,
for Ghost Shark? It's like Freddy Krueger.
No, that's Nightmare Shark. That's
Oh.
a completely different
Hol-
shark. That's bad
Hollywood.
for another
Wait a
reason.
minute, Nightmare Shark.
Oh, trust me,
Wait
I know
a
all about
minute.
sharks. I told you Shark-thon's thing, my dear. So, Ghost Shark.
Yes.
Ghost Shark. Basically, there is a fishing competition or something, and the shark attacks this fisherman's fish or whatever. They get pissed off. So they come back. They decide they're going to kill this shark. They kill the shark. The shark comes back as a ghost and starts killing everyone, including there's a moment in the movie
Oh, I
where
love
the shark actually haunts the water in this area. So it's able to come through a sprinkler system and attack through a slip and slide. That's a slip and slide shark mouth, and it just turns into a ghost, and kids like go in.
Oh, so it's kind of like
it's so
it's kind of like
bad.
I
It's
can
the
use
greatest
water
thing
pitch.
ever. And it
You
just
use
shows up like
And
there was a fire in one of the buildings in the movie, and the shark comes through the sprinkler system to attack them, and is like swimming through like the droplets of water. It gets better. It gets better.
Oh.
Nightmare Shark is another film. Nightmare Shark is basically if Freddy Krueger was a shark. The only real disappointing thing about Nightmare Shark is the shark doesn't speak. I kept waiting the entire time for this shark to like call them on the phone or something. I was waiting. I wanted it to happen. That was the biggest disappointing thing. Sorry, spoiler. The shark does not speak in that entire movie. Very
now because the shark, Freddy Krueger shark, doesn't speak. What's the point?
Yeah, but the shark smiles before it attacks you. That's pretty
Oh.
good.
Now that you say that, I have to watch like a
Oh, wait a second.
like a highlights reel.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah,
that's
I
a good one.
interviewed Kane Hodder for Mainframe One. It's one of my boys. I loved me some Kane Hodder, but
And Mainframe 1, it feels like it. I was gonna say it feels like a year ago. It almost was a year ago.
pretty much.
It was March, right? April.
But
March.
Mark actually picked out some of my guilty pleasures
Oh,
for
he went and got
movies.
the videos?
So you don't want to actually say you want to watch my guilty pleasures, but one of them is Bubba the Redneck Werewolf.
Oh god.
I love
And
this.
yes, it's only available in DVD. You
I love
cannot
this. I'm obsessed.
anywhere. This is actually based off a comic. And I got very excited because this year I was actually able to track down the comic that this is based off of.
Does
And
it
is
live up to source material?
just as cornball, and I love it. There's actually a theme song where it's Bubba
Mark, sing it.
screaming that he is Bubba the Redneck Werewolf the entire time, and it's like the
Mhm.
greatest thing known to mankind.
Is it like Joe Dirt level redneck?
Hey, Christy, did you notice he was eating ice cream before? Now he's eating fucking cheesy poo.
Yeah.
Mac
Yeah.
and cheese
Cheese
balls.
balls. I remember those things. Like they're usually on the shelf for 5 years and you eat them.
Mark
Yeah.
loves having balls in his mouth.
Taste.
But
Only you would know, Chad.
Bubba the
God, you
Redneck
make me weird.
Werewolf.
Wait,
This
you
is
balls.
Thank you.
Another film that is one of my guilty pleasures. I actually watch this every Thanksgiving, and it drives everyone nuts.
This is
I-
weird.
I screamed when I found a T-shirt of this at a horror convention like 2 years ago. But
Oh, what did you say?
Killing. Gobble,
Things
gobble,
killing?
motherfucker. Gobble,
Do they?
gobble.
I swear to God, do they have that fucking puppet where they have that puppet where you put your hand in it and like does that whole fucking stabbing thing?
Oh yeah.
So it's literally,
Look at what the fuck
Is there another one? Are there two things killings?
it's even better because it's Thanksgiving and
Yeah.
it's Thanksgiving 3.
Stop
Where's
it.
Stu?
There is no 2. That's the
There's
the
just-
ongoing joke. The ongoing joke is that they wrote a second film, and even the creators are like, no, this would never actually make it as a film. So there's a joke in that. There's a whole running gag in the third one about how there is no second film.
I love that. I am.
And there's
This is
actually
my favorite franchise.
a second film that never was.
It's killing.
These are
Holy shit.
so bad. They run back to the same jokes multiple times. They wrote their own musical tracks throughout. A song about how Billy was his best friend in the first one, which is probably one of the worst songs ever written, but it's kind of fantastic. In which case, they actually rhyme Billy Bo Millie like at least 6 times in that one song. I don't know. It's
I want to watch this right now.
kind of fantastically horrible.
I know what I'm doing on Thanksgiving. It's not seeing my family. It's watching. It's watching things killing 1 and 3.
Well, guys, we've been on here. We're hitting that hour and 15 mark. I think we can take this off air, as the great legend would say.
Like you hit that clip when you were drunk.
Well, yeah. Christy, thank you so much for being on here. Tell everybody where they can find your stuff. We got 15 thumbs up people watching. Let's go.
www.horrortourstudios.com. I've got a store there. I've got my comics there. You can go and get signed books of my comics on my fucking store.
There you go.
Give me money. That's what Demon Bitch would say. Give me money.
Annie, how about
Yes.
you? Where can they find you?
Oh my goodness. I don't have anything to plug, but if I could if you guys want to have my Cash App or my Venmo or anything, I can easily drop it. Give me money. No. I'm
Hey,
just happy to be here.
Annie, I can get you to. I think maybe there's a mainframe that you should talk
Oh my
about.
god. Yeah, actually, you guys can find my work and my writing on mainframecomiccon.com/news. If anyone is interested in writing for me, I will be your editor. Please, I need staff. Yeah, you can find my work there.
And on OnlyFans. And Cat Ren next.
Hi.
Nobody's got
Cinema
Annie,
Figures. I'm here every Friday and sometimes Saturday when Chad decides to go live when we're intoxicated.
we got a video that we got to make of Mark. Remember?
Mark eating.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get.
Make an OnlyFans account for Mark and just have him eat random things.
That's
Oh,
yeah.
good.
And it's
If
like,
you
you
guys-
want to get $5 for some hot garbage eating? Here, you how to do this. And he just sits there, he just eats stuff. He doesn't
Sits
even have
on
to wear anything
balloons.
sexy, just
Sits on balloons and pops them. That's like a thing, isn't it?
yeah, he's just eating cheese balls. Like that's 5 minutes of him eating cheese balls for $5. So it's $1 a minute. Or like you have fucking like I was thinking of doing an OnlyFans account where I could just do these weird fetishes, but it wouldn't really be sexual. I'd be just drinking like a milkshake. It's like, oh, it's too thick. That's it. I'd be sitting here like this, like, oh, it's too thick.
Or
It's
like
milkshake.
right now, it's like balls on my mouth.
Yeah, or like you get like a fucking eggnog tub and you're just eating out of it and you're like, I'm bored with this, and then you turn it off and that's what they paid for.
If you guys want to see Mark, oh wait, Chris Barrett,
No.
it's in. He says, "I'd pay to watch Mark eat."
Hey, you should do it. You make a lot of money, Barrett.
Wasn't that on one of John's to do things for Baltimore?
What's it?
He said that was one of his main things he wanted to do at Baltimore Comic Con
What's the watch?
was to eat with Mark.
I guess it became a thing.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
you
because I
are-
never really got out of my shell 100%. So yeah.
you kind of are a thing. So,
You are a thing on your own.
all right, God.
God,
God,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No?
I'm gonna go send
Set.
Chad a random disgusting picture. Hold on.
What is
There
this?
you go.
Yes,
There you
go
go,
ahead
Chad.
and
Look at
send
your fucking phone.
to Chad.
Gotta see your reaction.
Did you text it or what?
I texted
Oh,
it.
yep. Hold on.
You gotta
Oh,
read
God.
it.
Wait, that's Jenny's head.
That was like Tony's year too. He was telling me he had random exes fucking texting his ass like, "Hey," and they would send them. They were exes, so they would send him nudes and said, "Hey, you want to go? Like, give me a little. Like, you get a little of this, and can you pay my rent?" And then he's like, "What the fuck? Like, we broke up for a reason."
Well, hey, that's tonight. Thanks for hey, I like a great show once again, Common Core. Hey, it was a show. So
It was a show. That's it. Was it great?
God, whatever. Get the fuck out of here. Go home.